Hey everyone, Arthur here, arthurtutt.com, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to welcome you to this brand new YouTube channel. And what you're probably wondering is, what's it all going to be about? And my intention here is I'm going to use my marketing skills to help small business owners to develop hyper-local market domination. What do I mean by this? Let's say you're a gym or you're a spa, maybe you're a photographer, whatever it might be. I think every business owner, when they start thinking about their territory, if you will, they start thinking about, I want to cover the whole country, I want to take over the whole world, and they start thinking just huge, right, in terms of scale here. And it's really exciting, it's really sexy to think that you're going to take over the whole world. It's a great idea. I want to come at it from a more practical point of view and saying, look, every business has their space, has their territory, has their strengths, has their weaknesses. What I want to focus on, though, is helping small business owners to carve out their piece of territory. And what I'm talking about here is a 3-kilometer radius around their business location. Now, is 3 kilometers, is that an exact science? No. What I'm working to achieve here is saying your territory should include about 50 to 100,000 people. Now, if you're in a big city, if you're in Manhattan, a 1-kilometer radius is probably going to have more than 100,000 people in it. If you're in the Sahara Desert, you could be 1,000-kilometer radius and you might have like 3 people in it. So it does depend on context, but to keep it simple here, I want to focus on this idea of a 3-kilometer radius. So you've got your business in the center and we're looking at a 3-kilometer radius around that. And really my goal, what I want to achieve here is helping small business owners to understand what they can do to carve out that 3-kilometer chunk of territory and to make it their own. Now, everybody wants the quick fix, everybody wants the easy win, and I've got a dose of painful medicine here. There is no quick win, especially if you're bootstrapping it, like I certainly am. If you're bootstrapping it and you don't have a lot of money to pay other people to do things and you have to do the work yourself, there is going to be a lot of work involved. But the whole reason that I'm creating this channel is so that you can see how I've built up my own territory and my own reputation starting from scratch, and how I've built that up over time, and to use myself as an example, as a demonstration to show, okay, if I can do this here, you can also do it. Now, of course, every situation is different, every business is different, every geographical area, there's lots of different variables in here, but I'm using myself as an example that you can use to take lessons away and do this for yourself. So, my focus here is hyper-local market domination, and think of that as the 3-kilometer radius around your building. Okay, so that's great as an idea, as a concept. Let's get into some practicalities here, and I'm not going to break down all the technical details. That's going to be kind of the journey of this channel, is as we go through more and more different mediums, different media platforms, different channels, all that. We're going to break it down in more detail, but at a high level, what are we talking about here? Well, first of all, we're talking about having a website. That's pretty basic. All right, you've got your website. Now we're talking about search engine optimization. So having a blog on there with the relevant keywords to bring people to your website. Then we're also talking about local search engine optimization. So now we're talking about Google My Business, which is extremely location relevant. Google is really trying to deliver results to people that are in close proximity. That's really the whole focus there. On top of that, we've got social media. We've got Facebook. We've got Instagram. We've got LinkedIn. We've got TikTok is kind of exploding right now. So there's all these different social media platforms, and there's review platforms. There's Yelp. There's things like Meetup, and there's things like Eventbrite. There's Tumblr. Does Tumblr still exist? I don't know. Let's look into it. Twitter, is that still a relevant option right now? And so really, what I'm going to be doing is going through all these platforms. And to back up for a second, all that's covered so far is the free organic platforms. Then there's a whole other beast, which is the paid side of things. So that's running paid Google search ads, paid Google display ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Again, TikTok ads, those might be kind of the way of the future. And then as well, looking at um, voice recognition and voice questions in Siri and Alexa, and how do you rank well from a voice search, and how do you run voice paid ads, looking at all of that. And so what this channel is going to be diving into and dissecting over a long period, this is really the beginning of a 10-year project plus in the making. This is just the very humble and simple beginnings, which one day I'm very excited to look back on this moment and say, I have come a long way. But to summarize all of this, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you, the business owners, the layout, the map. You could kind of think about it like going to war, and the strategy of going to war, and where there's good terrain, and getting high terrain, and finding the right territory and the right spots to get cover. What we're going to be doing is because digital marketing is so confusing and includes so many different aspects, what I'm going to be doing here on this channel is really breaking down each and every one of them and telling you what you need to know about each of them, and how to create a comprehensive plan to take all of these pieces and bring them all together, so that as a whole, in that 3-kilometer radius is really what we're trying to focus on here. That hyper-local market domination, that 3-kilometer, this is funny, this circle, it looks like I'm framing my head here, but that hyper-local 3-kilometer radius around your building, around your building location. How can you do everything in your power so that when somebody is in that 3-kilometer radius and they do a search on Google, or they're scrolling on Facebook, whatever it might be, when somebody is in that 3-kilometer radius around your building, around your location, maybe it's your home if you're running your business from home, wherever it might be, your office, your home, your location. Maybe you've got multiple locations. Then it gets more complicated. But whatever it is, that 3-kilometer radius around, we'll say, your business, whenever somebody comes in that sphere of influence, that is your influence. And as soon as they walk into that territory, now they're yours. And so it's all about what are all the different ways that you can get in front of people to share your message, and not just to sell people stuff, but to let people know who you are. Who are you? What is your personality? Are you a fun person to be around? Do you have an interesting story? Is there something more? Is there something more to you than just you sit behind a cash register and you push buttons all day? People want to know the story. People want to know who you are. And so a big part of what I'm going to be doing in this channel as well is breaking apart, well, who am I, and where have I come from, and what is my experience? Because there's a whole other journey there. I'm going to get into it more in later videos, but I'll just give you a quick snippet right now. My background is actually in engineering, and I think that's what makes me different from a lot of other marketers out there. Is the thing that I really hate is there's a lot of digital marketers that they put a video out on YouTube, they've got a Lamborghini behind them, and suddenly they think that they're the shit. Right? And I really come at it from a more kind of practical, kind of engineering point of view of, okay, let's forget about all the flashy stuff. Let's focus on what is the stuff that actually works here. What is the stuff that business owners can actually take away and implement themselves, or hire somebody to do, but the real stuff, and not just kind of the flashy stuff, or the flavor of the second of what might be cool. So that's really what makes me different as a marketer. My background is engineering, so I have a more kind of analytical, more kind of a systems view of how does the whole system work together, as opposed to just saying, well, just run Facebook ads, right? We got to understand how do all the pieces fit together and work together, which is really why I see myself more as a general than as a marketer. I feel like marketer, yeah, it's not really a term that I feel, I'm not feeling it. It's a simple term. I can't introduce myself as, I'm General Arthur Tutt. That might be a bit of a misnomer, but that's really how I see myself. I am the general in the battlefield of this warfare of how do we get our business out there in front of people. And I don't want to take the warfare metaphor too far. At the end of the day, this is about business, and it's about serving people, and it's about helping people. But I find, for me personally, sometimes it helps to give it a little bit of a war metaphor. I don't know, maybe it just makes it feel a little bit more exciting, but it kind of feels like, instead of the drudgery of having to do marketing, it feels like there's a plan, there's a strategy. All right, we're going to action, we're getting into the field, we're doing something here. And so that's just a little bit of my background of coming from engineering. it wasn't quite the right fit for me, so I left and I went and I did some traveling for a bit. I was in Australia, I was in New Zealand, and then you could say I found myself, and of all things, I found myself in marketing. I still don't really know how that happened, but I seem to be here. I'm really enjoying it. And so I'm really excited to be sharing all that I've learned so far with you. And as I continue to learn more and more and more and more, to share it with you. And that's really, again, the point of this channel is that, you know, like I said, it's March 28th, 2020. I'm 31 years old. I don't have all of the answers. I haven't figured everything out, but I figured instead of waiting 20 years until like I've got the answer, I'm going to start this now. I'm going to start recording these videos now. I'm going to share what I have with you now. And again, you can come with me on this journey and to bring you along, share what I've got, and really help me help you, and let's do some crazy shit together. So with all that, my name is Arthur. Thank you again for tuning in. I've got a lot more exciting stuff that I want to keep sharing with you. And again, really the focus here is hyper-local market domination. As a small business owner, can you dominate those 3 precious kilometers around your business? Can you completely crush it in that small area and make that your space that you own? That's what we're going to be diving into. I look forward to seeing you soon. If you thought this was cool, like, share, subscribe, all those things. Leave a comment, question below, and I look forward to getting back to you soon. See ya.